Hey friends, welcome back. If you have a dog, you already know how hard it is to leave them while you go on vacation. So stay tuned, I'm going to show you what I pack with my dog to make sure he's all squared away at his sitters. Since I'm leaving Kingston for a little over a week, I'm definitely using a suitcase this time to put all of his stuff in. Now, my dog is extremely hyperactive and he needs a lot of things to keep him calm. So I'm packing almost all of his enrichment toys and things of that nature so he has enough variety to keep him calm. And another pro tip, if your dog is hyperactive like mine, get some enrichment toys. Of course, I gotta let my dog do his thing, so I'm letting him lay around in the suitcase until it's time for me to start packing up the next batch of stuff. Treats. Treats, treats, and more treats. Most of you all are already aware because you follow me on TikTok, but Kingston definitely uses a lot of treats because when we go on walks, I give him treats to keep him engaged and to also reward him with all the good stuff that he's doing. So that's what I'm packing into this box here. His treats are mostly single ingredient to minimal ingredient, and I also give him a variety of high and low value treats. Next up, we have the most important, which is food. Again, you all probably already know, Kingston is extremely picky. I'm talking like I do not know what my dog likes from day to day. So I'm packing some peanut butter, some Honest Kitchen bone broth, and some pate along with some sardines because again, guys, I do not know what Kingston likes to eat anymore. So I'm giving him a mixture of his usual fresh foods and also his kibble. Again, Kingston is really not a kibble boy, but I'm packing it because I think he's been liking this one so far. I also packed some of his frozen green beans, some goat milk kefir, and some other cold stuff in a separate bag because again, this boy needs some variety. Okay, now on to the other side. So I'm starting out by putting his crate blanket and a towel in there. Again, I don't know what the weather's gonna be like, so a towel is there just in case, and then his crate blanket will go on top of his crate. Now, since I have a poodle mix and you all know these dogs need to be brushed almost every single day, I'm sending him with this little grooming bag. So I have his slicker brush, a comb, toothbrush, and also some eye wipes because Kingston was dealing with some tear staining a while ago and they're almost gone. Wipes and staying clean are absolutely essential in our household, so I'm sending Kingston with some wipes because I don't want him dirtying up the sitter's house either. As I said before, I have no idea what the weather's gonna be like while I'm away, so I'm packing Kingston with his onesie rain jacket because this boy hates the rain, and if he doesn't have some sort of a protection on, he will not go out. Here I'm throwing in an extra harness because if anything happens to the other one, there's a backup. The most important, if not the second or the third, are his toys. Kingston is still one and he needs a lot of things to keep him occupied. The last thing that I'm sending with him is this sock. This is my sock, which Kingston absolutely loves tearing holes in. And I'm giving it to him because if he gets lonely or just misses me a little bit, he can like smell the sock or just play with it a little bit so that he knows I'm not too far away. And that's about everything I packed. Let's get into this Q&A. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the Q&A. So I've gotten tons of questions, comments, DMs, all that good stuff asking me about how I found someone to watch Kingston, where did I look, how much does it cost, all that good stuff. So I'm just gonna lay it all out here for you guys because I really think it's important for people who are in my shoes, first-time dog moms, to kind of hear and understand what I did and kind of how I found the right people to watch Kingston while I was on vacation. Also, Kingston's clearly being a good boy because he is knocked out right now, so that gives me more time to talk freely and say all the things I need to say. So let's just start with the first question of how did I go about finding a sitter or someone to watch Kingston? So of course, I did probably what a lot of you guys have done, which is start on Google. I literally was searching different like boarding facilities near me and just different places like that, like doggy daycares or like doggy hotels and things like that. And I was like, this is extremely expensive, okay? Please understand, I am not rich, okay? And I know Kingston is a very expensive dog, but I don't have that type of money to spend every night while I'm on vacation. So then I think a friend of mine put me on to Rover and to, what's the other app? There's another dog app, I think it's called WAG. She put me onto Rover and onto WAG, and I started on Rover because I think it was just easier for me to go through at that time. So on Rover, I put in obviously my dates that I was gonna be out, and then I started filtering with people who were closer by to me because, listen, my paranoia when it comes to him, it is through the roof, okay? I'm trying to work on it, but it is like, I'm very protective over Kingston. He is my first dog and I just really wanted the best for him. I want him to be in an environment that's just gonna be good for him. I want people that know how to deal with a puppy because at the time when I first found Kingston sitters, he was around 8 months old. So he was very much into his puppiness, into his puppy behavior, all that good stuff. So I started browsing through Rover. Again, I filtered my radius down to just people who lived closer to me. Just God forbid I ever needed to have someone go and, you know, check on Kingston, they would be in a close proximity. So I did wind up messaging about 4 or 5 people. And I kind of wanted to keep it at that number because I wasn't trying to message the whole world. I just wanted to keep it pretty reasonable for myself because I really needed to find somebody at that time to like hurry up and like let's book something, because I think I looked at sitters probably like maybe like 2 weeks or 3 weeks before I had to go on my trip. So anyways, I messaged 4 to 5 people, and then through messaging them, I just asked them some preliminary questions like, are you available to watch Kingston during these dates? Are you familiar with watching a puppy of his kind? Like, he is very hyperactive. He is just, at the time, he was literally just doing the most every day. So I just asked them like, you know, are you able and proficient in caring for a puppy? And then I think I also asked them a little bit more about their lifestyle. Like, what do you do? Like, are you gonna be home a lot? Are you gonna be away? I also asked them if they smoked, just things like that, because again, I wanted the best for Kingston while I was away. I asked if they had any kids, and then I also asked if they had any other pets, because for me, I wanted Kingston to be in a home or in a place that had another dog, because I don't know, I think Kingston really does well with other dogs, and I just wanted him to have some sort of like friend or buddy while I was gone. So finding a sitter that already had a dog in their care, in their possession, whatever the word is, was really big for me. So after I did those preliminary questions via message, I asked them if we could do a meetup. And I highly recommend doing a meetup, because this is where you get to really see the people, the potential sitters that you're looking to work with. You get to meet their pets if they have, you get to meet whoever else lives in the household, things of that nature. So I immediately asked, like, can we do a meetup? When are you available? Blah, blah, blah. I ended up only meeting with about 3 people. So 3 of the 5 people that I messaged, I only met up with 3. And they were all fantastic people. Like, I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, you guys are really amazing. It was kind of hard for me to narrow down who I was gonna go with. But just meeting with them, it, like, look at Kingston. It's okay, Papa. Yeah, it also like reassured me and just helped me figure out whether they were gonna be the best sitter for Kingston. So again, I met up with 3 people, and I think one person I did not like, or they weren't the best fit because they didn't have a dog. They said they had one. I guess they didn't update their page, but they said they had a dog on their page. They didn't end up actually having one because the dog had passed away a few months prior. So I had to say no to that person. And then I don't remember what happened with the other person, the second person, but anyways, I ended up meeting with Kingston's now sitters, and I really liked them. Their vibe was great. They were a couple, and they just had a very good vibe, and just everything that I was looking for in a sitter they had. So they had another dog, they had space for Kingston, they know how to deal with puppies because they watched dogs of all ages and sizes and things like that. So I ended up picking them after the meet and greet, because also the one thing that I really wanted, or that was really gonna be my determining factor, was how well Kingston got along with the sitter's dog. So Kingston got along really well with this particular dog, and I was like, you know what? I like this, I like this. So then after I had all my meet and greets and things like that, I ended up messaging the Kingston's now sitters, and I was like, okay, you guys are the ones. Let me know if you guys are still available on these days, because I need somebody to watch my dog. Because let me tell you, I was not about to go on that vacation without having Kingston all set up. So that was pretty much like how I found Kingston sitters. It was really just being very diligent with my questions when I messaged potential sitters, and then also just doing a lot of vetting. Like, you have to vet a lot on Rover, in my opinion, because I live in New York City, so there's tons and tons and tons of people who do dog sitting, and you just really gotta vet. Ask your questions, ask about their lifestyle. Again, Kingston at the time was 8 or 9 months. So yeah, I wanted someone to be home, working from home, that could be with him, because Kingston was just a headache, okay? Even though I had him on a very good schedule, I just wanted someone to be there with him throughout the day. But it all worked out really well with his sitters. I mean, to this day, they are just fantastic. I really like them. Kingston always has a really good time with them, and I'm just so thankful that the sitter relationship worked out, because I hear quite a bit of horror stories and I hate hearing them because it's just not fair. People do take advantage of dog sitting, looking after dogs and things like that. So I am very aware that Rover does have some horror stories, but please know that there are some gems on Rover. Again, you just have to make sure you're doing your due diligence, do your meetups. Don't be afraid to ask if you can, because they should be open to doing that. I've actually also had a few people, of the ones that I messaged and the ones that I met up with, they were very much willing to have me tour their apartments. I don't know if they could sense that I was very like particular and I needed to know X, Y, and Z, but they were also very willing to allow me to see their home before I let Kingston stay with them. So just very thankful for that. Now, in terms of cost, I know that's gonna vary from sitter to sitter, from facility to facility, but I don't remember how much I pay for Kingston's stay. I think, honestly, it's probably somewhere in the $200 to $400 range, and that's total, like for the entire stay. And of course, you're gonna pay more the longer you have your dog stay with the sitter, but just throwing out a ballpark. And if not, I'm gonna post a screenshot of how much I specifically paid. But dog sitting or leaving your dog with a sitter is not cheap. It's not cheap. Again, here in New York City, it's just not cheap. But again, I'm going to pay what I can to make sure that Kingston is well taken care of. So, but I do have my boundaries now, because some of these little pet hotels and spas that I did find were expensive. But again, I went with Rover because, I don't know, it just seemed just like the better fit. I don't really know how to explain it, but again, I just highly encourage that you are doing your due diligence with asking your questions. Don't be afraid to ask them about their lifestyle. Like I said, do you smoke? Do you have people going in and out of your house? How many people actually live in the home? Are there multiple rooms? Just be on your stuff. Be on your stuff. Don't be afraid to ask. Even you can also ask for pictures too. I know some Rover profiles had pictures of like the pets and things like that, but don't be afraid to ask for pictures of how they live, okay? And then one last thing I wanted to talk about is the anxiety and paranoia and fear of leaving your dog for the first time with a sitter. So again, I'm very protective of this little crazy boy over here. I'm just so shocked he's asleep. Anyways, and I just don't leave him with anybody. Given that, I had requested that his sitters send me videos and pictures 3 times a day of how he was doing, because I just really needed to know. I needed to make sure that he was being fed properly. I needed to make sure that he was okay, that he was going on his walks, that he was happy. Like, I just needed to know all those things. So they agreed to send pictures and videos while I was away, and that just helped so much. Like, I can't even tell you all the very first picture and video that I received of Kingston when I was away. Just like, it reassured me that I made the right decision and that I don't have anything to worry about, because again, I did all the work that I could do. I did all the vetting. I, you know, did everything that I could. So all the things started to come together after I received like the first picture and video of him, and I was like, he's having a blast. And I was like, he doesn't even care. Like, he does not care that I'm away. And that was also what I wanted. I didn't want Kingston to be worried. I didn't want Kingston to be homesick and thinking of me and thinking of our place and all that stuff while I was away. So I mean, I still have to say, like, yes, you're gonna worry, yes, you're gonna have fears and anxieties, but I think it's important to remember that you're leaving your dog with somebody or some place that you've done tons of research on, that you have asked for probably referrals on, etc., etc. You've probably read reviews on them. You're leaving them in the best care, and just be, you know, reassured of that. And I know there are some sitters or some places that allow you to have access to a specific camera where you can watch your dog, but I don't really need to be on King. I'm not gonna be doing that with Kings. I don't need to watch his every move. I just need to know that he's being fed, that he's being walked, peed, pooped, he's doing all the things that he would be doing with me. So again, the fear and the anxiety is normal, but it's just about being comfortable and just trusting that you've done all you could to make sure that you found the best sitter for them. And yeah, and then I'm telling you, once that first picture and video comes, you're gonna be like, oh my God, Kings, or your dog is just not gonna care that you're gone. Kingston was like, I don't even know who you are, deuces. Like, I just, who's mom? Mom who? Mom where? So I think that covers all the questions, comments, DMs that I received in regards to dog sitters and what to do with your dog when you go on vacation. Again, I am happy that I did the work to make sure that this boy was safe, because if he wasn't, I would be on the next flight to come and pick him up. No, but if you have any other questions about any of this, please feel free to leave a comment down below, or even make sure you follow me on TikTok, because that's where I post a lot more of my content. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions there. See you in the next one. Say bye, Kingston.